Hello folks, and welcome to part 2 of our true and authentic review of Cunard, Queen Anne.
And if you've seen part 1, you know it's a truthful one.
Yes, we're not affiliated, we're not paid for, we're not going to gain money for, I don't know, blowing bubbles up Cunard's bum. We are true and authentic.
We're definitely getting no money from Cunard.
If you're looking for honest feedback, here it is.
Yes.
We've done a part 1 where we looked at the embarkation and the room. We looked at the food, the restaurants, the buffet, all the different places to eat like Burger Bar, the ship layout, and entertainment on ship. That is part 1, and we'll put that below in the description and the pinned comment.
Yes.
In this video, we're going to talk about the excursions and the disembarkation and round up our thoughts and feelings.
And anything else we can think of that griped us or inspired us.
So here goes. The first stop we had was in Belfast. And we decided not to get a tour that day because we wanted to see the Titanic Museum in Belfast. But when we got off, we were going to get the shuttle and then walk a bit or walk. But anyway, the shuttles were rammed. So we got a taxi, which was lucky because all the shops in Northern Ireland were closed until 1 p.m. So if we had walked in or got the shuttle in, we'd have had nothing to do. Cruise didn't tell us that.
Well, it docks at 8 o'clock, doesn't it? And people were getting off at 8 o'clock. And the shuttle buses were just getting rammed and the queue, you've never seen out like it. It wasn't good. And it's like, oh God, is this going to be the cruise? You know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't really want to have to be just queuing for shuttle buses all holiday. So I thought, sod it, we'll get a taxi. We'll just let them get off. Well, we'll let them get off. We'll see how it goes. In the back of my mind, I thought, we'll just get a taxi. So, and then I looked, and it didn't seem like it was going to be that expensive. So we got off, didn't we?
Yeah.
And the shuttle buses were rammed. We weren't going to get on a shuttle bus for a good half an hour.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought. We'd just been queuing. So we got a taxi.
Yeah. And we got to the museum. The taxi driver was really helpful. We got to the museum. So we're not doing a Cunard tour. I'd wanted to go see that museum for years. But honestly, we have got footage coming up of it. We weren't that impressed. It was very busy. It was rammed. It was overstimulation, so there was things on the walls, the floor, the roof. It felt very inauthentic. I've been in other Titanic museums that felt respectful and authentic. This just felt like an entertainment ride, really. And I was disappointed. It was that busy, you couldn't connect to it. In fact, in some places I felt a little bit cringe, because this was a ship where people died, and it was just too entertainmenty, if that makes sense. And we did see one of the tenders to the Titanic that was still there, and it'd been renovated up and looked after and things, which was interesting to think of the story of that would have taken the rich to the ship. But yeah, it was a strange old place, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we did the tender first, didn't we? Because that's external to the museum. It's in like a dry dock, isn't it? I forgot what it's called now. It's been in the end. No. I meant to look this up and write it on this bit of paper, and I forgot. Oh, for God's sake!
It's online. You'll be able to see
well,
it.
It'll be part of the video. You'll see it on the video.
part of the museum, so it's part of your ticket. If you're thinking of going, it's all part of but the museum was too much. It was too much to take in, not enough authenticity. I mean, we've been saying, like, you know, let's not name it that. I can't get my words out. Ports out of 10. Now, this isn't against Belfast because we didn't get to see the full Belfast. But for the Titanic Museum, out of 10, what would you say out of 10?
The Titanic Museum, I'd give it a 5.
Yep, so he's 5 out of 10 for the Titanic Museum. I'd be the same. I'd do the same.
Yeah, the tender was good. Again, you couldn't take photographs though. Although they didn't mention that in the other museum, so a mixture. Because in the actual Titanic Museum, there was that much going off, I didn't feel I could capture it in a video because and there was too many people blocking shots and things. So I just took photographs of what I thought was like more vitally kind of stuff, and I did a video of the ride. But yeah. Disappointing.
And then we went on to Reykjavik, and the first day we had a spa trip booked. What was the spa called? Wasn't the Blue Lagoon, was it?
It was a Sky Lagoon.
The Sky Lagoon. And I couldn't go because I was on my period. So I went, but I went for a coffee and sat in the coffee, which was a nice area actually. Nice coffee, but you experienced the experience. So we've got footage as well coming up of that.
Yes.
Of that.
Yeah, so this was a private tour, wasn't it? We did a private tour, booked it through a different company. Can't remember what it was, showexcursions.com, whatever. So it's okay, shuttle bus, was late.
Yeah.
And we got to the Sky Lagoon, and I think we had to stay there for a couple of hours, didn't we, before the next bus came, which was a bit... I don't think we needed that time because I think we were waiting for a bus for 3/4 an hour, but that's beside the point. So it's a really nice. It's all new. It's all a new facility. It all feels new. It is built. It's not. I don't think it's a geological feature. It's not what you'd expect what the Blue Lagoon is, because you just told me that there's been another earthquake in Iceland and that shuts the Blue Lagoon down because it's all based on the geology of the area, and I'm assuming if there's an earthquake or volcanic eruption, the water probably gets too hot. I don't know, maybe, but I think this is all controlled and it's humanly built. I think. Don't get me wrong. That's what it felt like anyway. It was a nice experience. The changing rooms were nice, and it's the actual lagoon's nice, lovely and warm. And there's I forget how many steps treatment it is. I'll tell you in the 7 steps treatment. So you go into a sauna, a steam room. There's like a cold rain showers, a plunge pool. That's first. Sorry. There's a body scrub. And then another cleanse, and then there's a drink. It was really nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good experience on home, but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
It can't be blamed. Human biology cannot help these things. I would have enjoyed it more with Claire. It's a shame we couldn't cancel it. It would have been helpful, but terms and conditions said we couldn't. So we decided to carry on. I've got some footage. I enjoyed it. It was a beautiful view. It was beautiful panorama, the illusion pool,
Yeah.
all that.
I will say
Very
I was
nice.
shocked the fact that it was where it was. I had visions in my head of it being in the middle of nowhere. It's not. It's like an industrial estate. It's strange that industrial estate that goes out to sea. So bear that in mind because that was a bit like what?
Yeah, I think the Blue Lagoons are right outside of town, aren't they? More into the geologically bit, but this was very towny, wasn't it? It was like going to your local leisure centre spa kind of thing. It was very nice though.
So what would you give the day spa out of 10?
I think I'd give it a 7 or 8. I think it
7
was
or 8?
nice. Yeah, it was nice.
7.5?
Yeah, I think it was nice. Again, being on my own made the experience not as special. I think if we'd been able to share the experience, it would have been good. I think it's a nice couples experience. I wouldn't recommend it going on your own.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it as much on my own, I've got to admit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people there. There's a bar there. There's people drinking in there. So if you don't like that kind of stuff, it was busy. There was quite a few people in there. It wasn't as busy. The 7-step thing was quite good. It wasn't that busy. I managed to stagger it out a little bit. So I was kind of on my own. But yeah, it was okay. I'd give it a 7.5. It was a nice place to be, if not a bit busy.
The next day we did the ring. We were still in Reykjavik, and we did the Ring of Fire, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed the Ring of Fire.
Yeah, it was a bit hit and miss, wasn't it, as a tour?
Yeah.
So
this was a Cunard tour.
yes. So it was sold as the Ring of Fire. And we weren't really sure what we were getting. We thought we were going to a power station and a volcano. It definitely wasn't a volcano.
No.
So we went to a power station first off, which was a bit busman holiday-y for me as an ex-regulator of industry. So it was like going out and looking at a geothermal power station. So very quickly, the water goes into the earth, gets heated up by the heat, and it comes back up. Steam generators, no fossil fuels or anything like that. Generates power. It's quite interesting, wasn't it? It was a nice stopover for me. It was. I think even Claire
I
found
enjoyed it. It was
reasonably-
interesting.
There's enough information without it being overwhelming. It was all inside, so it was raining outside, wasn't it? So it was fine.
Yeah, and then most of it was on the bus. We went round different drove near, and we were staying near the volcanoes. Iceland is a volcano, which was fascinating, seeing the towns, the villages. We went to the hot pools, where it just comes up out of the ground. That was interesting. You hear it, can't you?
Bubbling. An eruption. Geyser eruption.
We went to a place for food. We couldn't eat that because obviously for Icelandic bread we're gluten free. So it was had you been able to eat that food, that would have been a nice.
It was a nice spread, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a nice spread. They really tried hard on that. And then what did we do after that?
After that, we went to the Ring of Fire, which was what was the Ring of Fire. So it was a national park. So we drove to the national park area, and this national park, I can't remember what the national park's called, I've got to admit, but it's where the North Atlantic Ridge goes through Iceland. So the North Atlantic Ridge is where two of the Earth's tectonic plates are pulling apart. So Iceland and the Atlantic is slowly getting bigger every single day, every year, and it's pulling apart, and that's what the volcanic activity is in Iceland. It's these tectonic plates pulling apart, so it's extending. And so as it extends and it extends more, it's like a trench, isn't it? And you see rock here, and that's the North American plate and that's the Asian plate, and you're walking down the valley in between these two tectonic plates.
Yeah, it was interesting. Everything's so green and lush and yeah. Yeah, loved it. Interesting. That was a Cunard. So what would you give it out of 10?
I think I enjoyed the power station. The bit with the food and the
pools was a
thermal
bit-
like vents. We didn't seem to get enough time at the thermal vents because there's a spectacular. It was like a geyser kind of thing. I think there's a famous one in I'm going to say Jellystone Park. That's Yogi Bear, isn't it? What was it called now? I said it on holiday. The big national park in
don't know.
America. Oh, yeah. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's definitely not Jellystone. It's something stone. And they've got a big geyser and you can set your watch by it. I think it goes off every 20 minutes or whatever. These were little ones. And there was one main one, wasn't there, that went off. And you caught it on one of your TikTok
Yeah, I caught it on my
live.
live and TikTok live.
And I've got half of one on the video that I'm going to show you. So it was like these that you get in other more spectacular places like America and places like that. I wish I could remember that national park.
I'd give it 8 out of 10. What would you give it?
Yeah, that seems reasonable. It was a nice enough tour.
8 out of 10.
Yeah.
The next place we went to was Akure, and this was a town.
Nope.
No, I need to, Isafjordur. And we went, in the morning, we went into the
Isafjordur.
town. Isafjordur. We went into the town, we got some nice coffee, and we went round a nice Icelandic bookshop and got tarot cards and books. Really enjoyed it. Do you remember?
You're getting mixed up.
No, I'm not.
We just bought some books on that one. That one. The Isafjordur. We went just round the town and we got a coffee because the coffee on the ship was crap. We finally got a nice coffee, and then we stopped at a bookshop. You got the fairy tales, the not Icelandic, the Nordic tales book, didn't we? It was £50. It's all nice gold leaf, isn't it? And then we went round the medical museum.
That's the other way around.
No, it isn't.
That's what you said. There.
Isafjordur is that. There's just those names are the wrong way around.
Right.
Yeah.
So Isafjordur's the town.
Yeah, Isafjordur is the town with the medical museum.
Right. Okay, I didn't know that, did I? God. And
It
so we
seems
went
to go
out and
around.
we went round the town. It had a little fishing part to it as well, a fishing museum, and we had a medical museum that was at an old hospital that's now a museum and a library, and that was interesting, wasn't
Yes.
it?
It was nice. It was all quaint, all very nice. Nice little fishing town. We didn't go on a tour. There was other tours you could go whale watching and things like that. And there was one funny moment when we were in a lift and a woman was complaining that she'd gone on the whale tour, and apparently the ship sailed right past where they went on the whale tour. And she was complaining she spent hundreds of dollars on a whale tour, and they
So
actually
be
went past
careful
it.
of that, because that's just...
Yeah. I don't know if we saw any whales when we went past. I don't know if she even saw any whales when she went on her whale tour. But, you know, if she'd have got up early enough, she'd have seen we'd sailed in that way and there was only one way out to go on the whale watching. So, yeah, just be careful what you book. But she weren't a happy camper, was she?
It was an okay village to have a little wander around. I found Iceland really fascinating, if I'm honest, because of just the quietness and the peace and the slow living, and how it's so different from where we are in the United Kingdom. What would you give that? What would you give it?
The town, the little two museums helped bring it along. There was a little bit of a park, wasn't there? We had a wander around. I think there was more to it if you wanted to get a bus further on, which we didn't do. I'd give it a nice 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I think.
7.5 for you? So, yeah.
It was a nice little walk out, wasn't it?
Yeah. So 7.5 for that. And then
we went to Akureyri, which is the second biggest city in Iceland. Doesn't look that big.
Yes.
But it's the second biggest city.
And as I said, in the morning we went in for coffee. We went to a bookshop. We got bookshop. We got tarot cards.
We did.
We got books on Norse mythology. And then we went back to the ship, because in the afternoon we went on a trip to Godafoss Falls, which were absolutely breathtaking. Again, it was a Cunard trip, but I will say this particular trip to get from the boat to the coach was a shit show. It was horrific. They ended up, I don't know what they did wrong, but all of these people just went woof, and getting off, it was just rammed. I think even someone fell as well, because the ramp was really steep. And by the time, I'm noticing this with a lot of bus tours, by the time you get there, if it takes people ages, that comes off your tour. So you end up rushing around these places that you've spent a lot of money to see. And literally when we got to the falls, we had, 20 minutes? 20 minutes, and this was the highlight.
Luckily, we'd luckily got the seats right next to the middle door in the coach, so we were literally straight off.
Yeah. What would you give that tour? Now, this isn't about the waterfalls. I'd give them 10 out of 10, but the tour I was unhappy with.
So the tour wasn't brilliant because it wasn't just that; it was leisurely Akureyri. Now, when it says leisurely Akureyri, you think, oh, it's going to show us around the town. No, it was some little gardens on the outskirts of town that were a bit out and out.
And I'd rather have missed those out and just spent more at the falls.
Yeah. So we didn't really explain. We were more worried about getting off the coach They gave us 40 minutes at the falls. Now, 40 minutes, that sounds a reasonable amount of time, Gary. You're getting a bit moany here, aren't you? No, it took you 10 minutes to get to the falls and then 10 minutes back. So you only got 20 minutes to actually look. And there's quite a lot to look for because you can get right up to the falls and look down. Or, if you feel adventurous, you can climb down the rocks and get down to the pool below and look up and see the falls come down. And we didn't have time to do that. I could have done that. And also, you could walk all the way around the other way as well. All the way around the other side and have a really good walk around and see it from different... And we just didn't get the time to do that, unfortunately.
Because you just don't get enough time. So I would say, I mean, the tour for me, the waterfalls, 10 out of 10. The tour, I'd say 6.
5.
Yeah, 5. So
the waterfalls were brilliant. You get 5 for your waterfalls. The rest of the tour was pretty mediocre. So you don't get any more scores for that.
So 5 for those.
Yeah.
And then the next stop off was Stornoway, Isle of Lewis in Scotland. And we decided to rent a car here. I mean, we docked later due to weather and stuff. So it was, we docked at, I don't know, 12 o'clock-ish, maybe even 1 o'clock-ish.
It was 1 o'clock, I think, yeah.
And we had to get off that ship, get on a shuttle, get to Stornoway, get the car because we'd booked to see the Callanish Stones, which we did it. The Callanish Stones are very mysterious, very magical, very out on a limb in the middle of nowhere. Again, because of late docking, because of the fact that the shuttles and there's lots of people getting in and people set off late and having to get back, and if you miss your shuttle, it was a rush. And we found that cruising for us in this way isn't for us where you got a rush because you had to get back to your shuttle to queue and queue and queue and queue. So for that, I mean, the Callanish Stones, 10 out of 10. But for the whole port thing, I mean, they did organise the shuttles really well. The lads that were working the shuttles had a good routine. But again, all these people, me first, come on, and it can just become a shit show.
I mean, we do like to get back as well. And a lot of people do like to get back for the food and things like that. So if you did want to go out and enjoy the Isle of Lewis, the booking the car was very easy, very simple. It's quite expensive for a car, I've got to admit. I think I might have got my bottom felt a bit on the price of the car. But still, it doesn't, that's irrespective. The experience was, the car was fine, and the experience of picking the car up, and I could have dropped it off a lot later than I did. I preferred to be able to give the keys to a human being and know that it all got checked out before I left and they were happy with it, so I didn't get any dodgy hire car issues. But we could have just dropped the keys off in a lockbox and we could have had a driven around all the island and all that kind of stuff. So if you're more adventurous, that's definitely a possibility. And if you did that, then you'd probably miss some of the shuttle bus queues because we probably hit the queue going out and then we probably hit the queue coming back as well. There's not much there at Stornoway. I was shocked that it was so busy actually when we were coming back, because obviously we drove for 20 minutes, half an hour to the Stones, looked round the Stones and then drove back again.
Because the visitor centre was closed, so you couldn't stay there for ages.
So, but still, we had to have that drive there and that drive back. I was shocked that these people managed to stay in Stornoway for so long.
Because it was a dull day as well, it was raining and...
There's not that much there to see and do.
I think as well, we've said this about a lot of cruise ports now. We remember the first one we went together as a couple. You know, you got off in these nice villages and towns. That very rarely happens now. A lot of these ports they're going to, you need to get a shuttle to get off. And you need to basically, to see out in a lot of these cases, get on a tour or hire a car. So it's making it less and less liberating, I think, cruising. It's becoming a ball ache to get on and off cruise, especially as everyone wants to be off first and wants to be back on first. And yeah, I wonder if these ships are getting too big.
They are too big, yeah.
So the Stones, I'd give it a 10. The port situation, I'd give it an 8.
The town's not so bad.
Yeah.
Again,
It'd be nicer in the sun, I think.
yeah. Again, I think we could have probably spent more time looking around the town, but you saw the queue for the shuttle bus and it weren't going down. It would just constantly staying the same size.
Getting bigger.
Or, yeah, potentially getting bigger at times. So it was like, do you want to look around the shops and then when you get in the queue, it's even longer? Or do you just get in the queue and get back to the ship? So that's what we did in the end, isn't it? Was it the right choice? I don't know. We managed to. There were a little market there, wasn't they? All selling like.
Yeah, that was nice.
Which drew me in, and I thought this will be a nice experience. And you got a new necklace out of it.
I did, yes. It was very nice. Nice sellers, nice crafters in there. I'd give. What would you give that Stornoway?
7.
7. Then the last port was Greenock. Now, out of all of the ports we sailed into, Greenock knows how to welcome people in. Again, one of the big things of cruising used to be traditional music at the side of the boat when you're docking in. We didn't see any of that. We've not seen it for a while, actually. No. Not since the honeymoon in 2017. Whereas in Greenock, they had the Scottish Piper there, which I thought was lovely. And also as well, the Sailaway had all the Scottish band there, not just the Piper, which again I thought was lovely. And the Sailaway, you had the Waverley as well sailing alongside us.
Waverley coming in, and it's going to be sailing out with us, I think, as we leave port. So fantastic, beautiful paddle steamer. Look at that! Wow.
Aye.
The engine tool on that
Greenock, you could book tours. We didn't because we've already spent a lot of time up that side of Scotland, and we arranged to see family at Scott's, which is a Scott's of Greenock, which is a restaurant at the port. Which, if you just want to fancy some different food, a leg stretch, you don't fancy going on a tour, Scott's at Greenock is a really nice place to have food and drink.
Brilliant. Brilliant place. Fantastic food. amazing service. Can't fault that restaurant. It's one of the best restaurants I've been into for a very, very long time. It's not cheap, but most good places aren't, are they? And they were on top of their allergens, they were on top of the cleanliness, and they were on top of service. It was faultless, I think, faultless. Lovely restaurant. And that's twice we've been there on 2 different cruises, and twice we've had a really good experience. And that's over a couple of years. So that's quite good, that, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's a nice place. I like it. Like I said, sometimes by the time you get to that point, you really don't fancy a big tour. I mean, you may do. You could have it as you could go there for breakfast if you wanted, and then have a tour. Because I think, like we've said in the previous video, ship meal, cruise food is a bit. It can get too much.
It can. It can.
I'd actually give Greenock a 10. Simply because I know Greenock itself was ropey, but the wall coming in and I think that made it for me. I knew that I docked in Scotland. I knew from those pipes that I was in Scotland.
You've won me over.
And the band playing you out, to me, that's what cruising is about.
You've won me over. We had a good sail in, we had a good sail out. Greenock is Greenock.
Yeah.
You can't expect herds of wildebeest going on the Serengeti.
To be fair though, the sail out is beautiful. It's just the town is ropey, and
it needs a bit of development.
It needs
let's
some
put
development.
It there. If you want to go for a few shops, it's got all the shops you want.
Yeah.
It's a town. It's
Yeah.
got all the shops you want. If you just want, I bought a new silver necklace, for example. I found a jeweller's. I needed a new necklace.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's got everything you need. It's not the most salubrious of places, but it is what it is. It is a stopover port, and it's what the Ryanair cruising nowadays is. They drop you off at a port, and you've got to go quite a way to go to where you want to actually go.
I mean, they were going over to Edinburgh and stuff for them. So
They were, weren't they?
Yeah, so some of the tours looked good, but we've already done it numerous times.
Yeah, they had Loch Lomond, didn't they? The one tour that we really wanted to do, the castle. Inverary Castle, which we've still never done. But yeah, we'll maybe do that at some stage.
So I will give Greenock a 10 because I knew I was in Scotland. And it's just a big bugbear of mine, these ports, that you don't get waveaways or anything now.
And you know what? You can walk off and you can go to shops, you can have a wander around, you can go to a nice restaurant. You might hopefully get a nice coffee. The coffee we got in the coffee shop wasn't fantastic. I've got to admit, we didn't pick the best of places. But other than that, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. And when you
good on you, Greenock.
And when you sail away, you just with your boat. There you go, and you're in the locks, and you're in the mountains. So Greenock gets 10.
Yeah, good on you,
Bloody hell, eh?
Yeah, bloody hell.
Greenock's getting a 10
Yeah.
because it knows how to treat people, I think, as well. And there's a big Tesco's just there. So sometimes you need to stock up on meds or get a new top or, I don't know, get some crisps for your room or some, I don't know, wine. So there's Tesco's there.
It's got everything you need as a cruise port. I think I bet the staff love stopping at Greenock because
we'll see a lot of staff getting off at Greenock.
I bet they love that port.
So, Disembarkation. In fact, how would you rate all the ports excursions? Final overall score for all of them? Overall score for the whole excursion.
Getting off ship and seeing every port.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. 6 each. Yeah, I'd
If
say
you
6.
think so. There's some good ports, some not so good ports, and organisation not the best.
I think that's for the excursions. That's
Oh, is
why
that- oh,
Greenock
that-
isn't. Well,
yeah.
it's just the excursions were just a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't like being in that. So Disembarkation was a very strange thing. It's something I always struggle with, disembarkation, because I find it too much, way too much. And it affects me in many different ways. This was a weird one. We kept getting these messages, 2 or 3 messages on the tannoy, telling people to back off. Because basically you've got your information in your cabin a night before. Now usually on some cruises it can be a week before, which really grinds my gears.
Yeah,
when you're still on holiday and they're talking about you getting off in a week's time.
Yeah,
Cunard didn't do that this time. So you got your information night before or a couple of nights before, which I thought was more humane. So well done, Cunard. But that morning, so basically you were told to go to different rooms to wait. But what happened was people didn't. They went straight out for the gangplank. Is that what they call it, gangplank? And we had 3 messages over the tannoy, basically saying, can people stop doing that because you're blocking up the gangway and we can't get out and it's causing chaos. Can you go back to your stations? And that was 3 times he said that. The 3rd time he sounded very stressed out and frustrated.
I don't think everybody was doing it because obviously some people were going to the rooms and the rooms had their set time when they were supposed to disembark. So when they say the Queen's room, which is what ours room was, when it was time for them to leave, if other people have just thought, sod it, I'm leaving, then that it just overwhelms it. Because the Queen's, when we got on, I think at the first tour we got off, everybody, the entire Queen's room went off, didn't it? And it was horrific, wasn't it? We were queuing down the stairwells and all through the bowels of the ship to get off. It was horrific. So I can imagine that's what it was like then.
Yeah. But with this one, what happened was we went and sat upstairs thinking, what's going on? We just didn't fancy going and sitting in the lounge because I actually find it too much. Everyone then has this jittery energy and I can't stand it.
Can we just move backwards a step?
Yes.
And just say, yeah, the luggage labels came a couple of days before. That was great. We could put us luggage out up till 11 o'clock, which is great as well. So you can get your luggage out and you can put everything in your luggage that you need to do. And we were allowed to stay in our cabins until 9 o'clock on the morning.
Which is good as well. Well done, Cunard.
So the breakfast was served in the restaurant as well.
Well done, Cunard.
So in other ships, I think in the Princess one, I think it might have been the Britannia one we went on, they didn't serve breakfast in there, and we went into the Lido, and the Lido was just a mess on Disembarkation Day. It is just a mess. It's just not, you can't get tables, you can't get served, you can't get anything. I'm not saying this is what happened on Cunard, I can only just imagine. So we managed to go into the restaurant. I did. Claire didn't go down.
Yeah.
You didn't feel up to it. I managed to go down to breakfast, got a nice breakfast because I wanted to get some food down me for the drive. That's my excuse anyway.
You need food to drive, apparently.
It's brain food. So, and then Claire was able to stay in the cabin until 9 o'clock. One of the cruises, it was 7 o'clock we were getting kicked out of the cabin, weren't we? In the past, it's been 8 o'clock. I don't know if we got extra because we were gold members. I think we might have got an extra hour because we'd been served. We've been customers of Cunard for a bit. So I think we might have got that bit extra. So we managed to stay until 9, and we were supposed to go to the lounge, the Queen's room, at 9:30 to disembark. But we thought we didn't fancy sitting in a room with loads of people. I've got to admit, because near the end of the cruise there's a lot of people coughing and spluttering.
Yeah, and it gets a little bit ruly, and I understand they have to have rules and regulations. They are a vessel at sea with over 3,000 people on there, and that's not even including staff. They have to have rules. But it really grinded my gears this time because everything was a rule and regulation, and I found it exhausting. I understand why they need it, and they do need it because it would be there were so many people just.
And that's why it was bedlam when you said it was bedlam because people weren't following the rules.
We went out to use the cliffs to go up to the deck upstairs and to just sit out. And they were just ramming into lifts. It was horrific, the disembarkation, that part of it. So we go downstairs, and you said to the woman, because there was like this cordon, can we disembark down there? Is that where you go? And she said, yeah. And literally, this is how angels work. She lifted the barrier. We went through, and there was no crowds there. Seas parted, no crowds. Now, one of the bits I hate is all the queuing and all of this energy coming at you. And then usually you go down what I call the tunnel, and it's a long tunnel. And then it's into the port, and it's a long walk, and then you can't find your bags and people. The energy is horrible. There was none of that. The tunnel had broken, and there was just a little ramp down, literally ramp down,
onto
and
the
your
dock.
cases were at the bottom. So that was perfect for me.
So it's literally straight on onto the dock side and then straight into where the guys have put the luggage. Normally you'd go where you come in, so it's the tunnel, and then you go all the way around the tunnel, and you've got to go down some stairs to where the luggage is. But now we just come straight off the ship, straight in. So it was really good. It was what I had planned in my head. I've got to admit, let them all get off, let them all cause mischief. Don't really want to go into the lounge. That was naughty of me, I know, but we stayed out of the way. We stayed out of the way because, like you said, the lifts were bedlam. People wanting to go down the lifts were going up.
And they also, as well, were not leaving the cases out. They were taking the cases with them. So they had cases in. Oh, it was just horrific, wasn't it?
Yes, there was the lift. We got in a lift and it was full and it was going up. And there was people getting in the lift wanting to go down, but the lift was going up. It's like, we're going up. Oh, yeah, we'll go up to come down. But can't you wait and let people go up? But no, they can't. And so they were ramming cases onto lifts. Yeah. And it's, So we went up near the pool, sat nice and quiet, wasn't it? Nobody's about, really. The Lido's starting to quiet down by that time. It's still a bit busy, actually, but out in the poolside area, it was reasonably quiet. Sit outside, fresh air, beautiful, wait it out, and then have a wander down, and we got straight off.
We're going to do our marking now. So the ease of it, I think the ease of it, for Cunard's side, was 10 out of 10. I think the difficult bit was their clientele. So for Cunard, in all fairness, that was the easiest disembarkation I've had in as far as...
For us, because we didn't follow the rule. we were part of the problem, although we weren't, because we didn't get in anybody's way. We weren't the people who was ramming towards it when we wanted to get off. Yeah. We did stay out the way, which is what they kind of want you to do when you go into the different rooms. They want you all in a room. But if we'd have gone to the room, there'd have probably been another 50 people coming off with us at the same time. And we'd have had to queue with 50 people to get off. But because we did what we did, we kind of timed it so it was in between clearing rooms, and we just walked straight off. Or that they'd all rammed off and there was nobody left on board.
Yeah. What would you give it, Gary, out of 10?
Sorry. I think 8.
8.
Because we made it easier than it was.
Yeah, because if you'd have stuck to Cunard, it'd have been... Anyway.
Yeah.
Information, I think there was enough information there, wasn't there?
They give us everything information. They told us when to put the cases
10
out.
10 for me.
Yeah, 10.
10.
I'm reading the room now, here, people. I'm reading the room.
Feelings after leaving the ship. So you're getting in your car, you've left the ship. What was it like?
10.
10?
I was happy. I was happy to get off.
I'm the same. I was happy to get off. And
it's bad, innit, really?
Yeah.
I was glad to be home, on my way home.
I think people know the job that we do away from this Thackeray's. Had it not been for the help of the angels, I reckon the Disembarkation could be a total shit show because of all the ramming clientele, and because we work with angels, we part the waves.
And she had me as well.
Yeah. Yes, and obviously pushing straight in. It was easy, but I think if we'd have stuck to the rules, it'd have been horrific. So the rounding up of that for me is a 10 because it just worked well for us to get with the help of energy.
Our disembarkation was perfect. It was a 10 because we got help, and I read the room and I had a plan.
Yes. But if you don't have that or you get caught up in the ego, you could be in for a nightmare. Round up and overall thoughts of the cruise. What improvements do you think they could... I mean, they could make a lot of improvements. I know it's a new ship, but there is a lot of tweaking needed. I know structurally they can't really do much now to the ship. I mean, the ship is clean, but I think they need to educate some of their staff a lot better, especially those staff members dealing with food. They need to get back on top of their excursions as well, because to be quite honest, it's not good enough.
To be honest with you, from sailing with Cunard a few times, their excursions have never been that cracking.
Yeah.
The only one we ever had that was good, that was really good, was the New York one. And that's probably more down to the tour guide.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Than the itinerary.
He's the only one apart from the Cape Cod one, she was good
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. That Cape Cod was just like, mwah, and the New York one. So well done, USA.
Yeah, you know how to do tours.
USA.
You know how to do tours, I've got to say.
Nobody
over in
else
America.
does. Nobody else does. America does know how to do tours. I think all those tours in America were good, weren't they? They were.
Yeah, we went to Vancouver, didn't we?
Yeah.
Vancouver?
Yeah, that's
It
kind
was
of.
just, yeah, it was a bit of a long
Now, don't you
tour.
start, because Trump wants that to be America.
What's that?
I kind of called it like America. You said, because all the American tours were good. He said, yeah, like Vancouver. I know what you mean.
I know what you mean.
Anyway.
That was our American holiday, even that's Canada.
Yeah.
Um,
Some improvements, yeah, training staff that are dealing with food better.
Definitely.
Entertainments, improve them. Buffet restaurant, improve it. Make changes.
yeah, I'm not sure how much they can improve it other than increasing cleanliness.
Yeah.
But the problem they've got there is the clientele, and they will get pissed off if they're closing that restaurant down for any long periods and they can't eat.
Yeah, we found that.
And that's probably why they're not doing it, because people get upset that they can't eat and that the areas are closed off, because they've got to be eating every second of the day.
Yeah. What would you say the Queen Anne was ideal for?
I think the ideal is Cunard is good as a ferry. As a place.
Oh, any Cunarders watching this, Gary, you're dealing with those comments.
It's a very posh ferry. It's
Yeah.
a good thing to get you from A, B, C, D, F, all the different parts.
With some comfort.
Yeah, with some very comfort. I'm saying this is a nice ferry. You've got all the comforts you'd want from a 5-star hotel, good restaurants, lounges are okay, there's swimming pools, there's everything you need. But if you're a big drinker, if that's what you want, is a good nightlife, then it's not that good.
Yeah.
It's not designed to be a nightclub.
Yeah.
It's not designed to be the Ritz.
Yeah.
It's designed to give certain people a bit of entertainment.
Yeah.
It's the old hotel.
Yeah, I'd say the target audience is 60 to 80. That's not a problem.
No.
But I think you need to be aware of that before you go on it. Because like Cunard used to have a mix of ages and I didn't see many younger people on there. The spa facilities, again in a strange place. We didn't even go to the spa. We went to go to the spa to go to the gym. But yeah, if you want luxurious spas, if you want to use a big gym area, if you want to spend a lot of time on ship and enjoy it and enjoy the different things and different shows and entertainment things, I don't think Cunard's the place to be.
Yeah, activities-wise, it has a lot to be desired. They have talks and things. They have the usual like games and things like that. It's very low-key. I've been on a lot of these big ships, and the entertainment's a bit, and they're in your face. It's music. So
Yeah,
if
I
you're
won't
in
like
for a
that.
relaxing experience, and Cunard's the place to be. Although
Oh no.
it's not relaxing.
Because people keep stomping about in the pool areas, well, all over the ship, walking to and fro like lost souls, it can be really hard to relax because they just wander and wander and wander and wander. And it's even sitting on your balcony, you think it's going to be peaceful. A lot of the time it is, but then you hear drilling or people scraping chairs or chatting loudly on the balcony. So for peace and quiet, I'd say no. One of the things we've said from sailing with Cunard is going forward, we're going to look into self-catering. Because I think ships will be like hotels and hotels like ships. I think there's a lot of unsettled energy out there and unsettled people. And I think if you want peace and quiet and somewhere to unwind, decompress, relax, and just flow, I don't think cruising's a place.
Well, we talked about it, didn't we, on the holiday, that it feels like, excuse the pun, that people are all at sea and that you can't get grounded at sea and people are just flying high. So yeah, you've got your tellies on, the thin walls.
Oh yeah, people next door to us had the news on all of the time.
And, you know, you're getting elderly people who have got hearing problems, and so tellies are full
Yeah.
volume. You know, it's not,
Yeah.
you can't help that,
No,
but, you
no.
know, think of your times when you're watching the telly.
But it's a lot of money when you're paying thousands and thousands of pounds
Hmm.
to have a relaxing holiday and you get there and it's not relaxing. It can be quite anxiety inducing.
Yeah, so the structure of the ship's not conducive of it because it's funneling people into the relaxing area. Because there is a pool at the back of the ship, but it's quite exposed, isn't it?
Yeah.
As I've shown in video 1. So yeah, it's not as conducive for that relaxation as you'd like to think. And I don't think people are going on cruising holidays and that's what they're going for anymore either.
No. Yeah. They possibly are using it like a ferry.
They're going from, and you can tell because even on the sea days, they're dressed as if they're going to get off the boat.
Yeah. They are. Walking boots, jackets on, hiking sticks, poles. I'm not joking. I'm being deadly serious. And it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah. So would you use again? Yes or no?
No.
No. And
Not at this current time. I don't.
value for money.
Value
10
for
out
money.
of 10. What's the value for money? 10 out of 10. Give me a number.
5.
5, yeah. Yeah. 5 from me as well.
Because we're not getting value for money from the food. Definitely. And we didn't have as much relaxation as I thought we were going to get. Because the idea of booking this is, tick, we wanted to go to Iceland. We wanted to go to Iceland. We want to see the magnificence of Iceland. And it is. It is magnificent, don't get me wrong. I know we've got grumbled a lot on these videos. But the Iceland is amazing. It's an amazing place to go to. But the other thing was that we were going to get 5 or 6 sea days. I can't remember how many sea days we got. But it was something in the realms of 5 or 6. There's 1 to Belfast, 2 to Iceland, 1 to Scotland. Then
1 back to Scotland.
1 back to Scotland. And yeah, it was 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Lose count. It was 5 or 6 sea days. So we're going to get 5 or 6 relaxing days where we're not having to get off the ship, go through all that energy. But unfortunately, we didn't get the relaxation. If it was catering that was winding us up, it was the stompers that were winding us up. That you just couldn't relax because there's constantly people going in your eye line. I had to put headphones on. It's the only way I could relax.
Like an asylum. You know when they used to walk around?
Well, it's like tigers in a cage at the zoo. You just see them go round and round and round the cage, just wandering and they're stomping.
Yeah, going nowhere fast. So yeah, what would you give the overall experience out of 10?
Sorry, I thought that was the last one. 5.
5. Yeah, I'd say 5.
Yeah, 5, unfortunately. The ship didn't have the wow factor. The food doesn't cater. The allergens, for me, dairy-free and gluten-free, is still not fully being catered for by the mass catering world. So we're losing money there and an experience. And yeah, the ship didn't have the wow factor. And the tours, Iceland's magnificent, and I don't think the tours showcased it enough.
No, I've said this for ages, that cruise trips, excursions are not... A lot of the time I go to this place like, is that it? Because they're just not... another thing, if they talk on the... You know, when the tour guide talks, a lot of them talk over them. So you can't even hear about the place that you're going to because of people on the bus. Anyway, that's our review of Cunard, Queen Anne.
So we had an amazing time. We had a really good time. Thank you very much.
Would we recommend it? Possibly not.
I'd recommend Iceland.
Yeah, I'd recommend Iceland. I'd recommend trying to find some type of self-catering in Iceland and doing it yourself.
It depends what you want. If you want to go somewhere and be fully catered for, shown a reasonable thing of luxury, if you're not that bothered about relaxing, if you don't mind crowds and people being people, and then it's not such a bad cruise for you. If you don't mind mediocre entertainment, if you're not a big drinker, then it might be a good place for you, because the drinks are quite expensive on Cunard.
Yeah.
We found that when we used to drink. But yeah, so they can be quite expensive. So there's all these things to think about. And I think picking a cruise line is always difficult because it depends what you are like a person. Cunard should be for us. But unfortunately, it ain't at the moment. Unfortunately. And I don't think any other cruise line would cater for us because we want the peaceful, quiet life. And Cunard should give that, but it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't deliver anymore.
No.
And I think the only ship so far that we've been on Cunard that kind of delivered was the Mary, because it had the indoor pool that wasn't so much as a corridor, because people could walk past it on the outside.
So, thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And if you've got to the end of this video, you'd like to leave a comment but not sure what to put, leave us some mountains for Iceland. Or a Scottish flag, or an Icelandic flag, or an Irish flag. In fact, it would be an Irish flag, wouldn't it, because it's Belfast.
That'd be a British flag.
Anyway,
A bit Union Jack.
thanks for watching.
Or red flag with a Union Jack in, I think. Something like that.
I don't know.
I can't remember. I
I
think
don't know.
something like that.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Love to all. Bye.
So long. See you later.